Hello friends, today I have prepared 20 super interesting, fun, and challenging riddles for you. Many of them have a trick up their sleeve. So use your logic, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and at the end of the video, you can leave a comment saying which of the 20 riddles was the most challenging. I won't take up too much of your time, so let's get started. Riddle number 1, the path to light. Egyptian gods guard 3 doors. Choose the one that dies and is reborn every single day. Which door leads to light? Answer, door number 2. This is the sun god Ra, who sets and rises every day. The next challenge, riddle number 2. The train to nowhere. The gist. The station's display shows the time as 1361. The passengers' watches show different times. The goal is to determine the correct time for the train to arrive on time. Answer, 1401. In 13 hours, 61 minutes is 14 hours and 1 minute. The next challenge, riddle number 3. The lost chronometer. The premise? A scientist is sitting in his study, surrounded by stopped clocks, mechanical water and sand. On the wall is a note. The only chronometer that never stops will show you the way to the truth. You need to figure out what this chronometer is. Answer. It's the human heart. All the machines can stop, but the heart continues to count down the time of life until the very end. The next challenge, riddle number 4, Wheel of Fortune. The essence. On the medieval square, a Ferris wheel with 12 carriages, red and blue, rotates. Now at the lowest point is the red car, number 3. You need to determine which car and what color will be at the bottom after 3 full rotations. Answer, cabin number 3, red. After any number of full rotations, the wheel's position remains unchanged and the same cabin will remain at the bottom. The next challenge, riddle number 5, 3 mages and 1 elixir. The gist? 3 alchemists are making an elixir. One of them is a liar. The recipe says 2 will bring life, the third will bring death. You have to determine which ingredient is deadly. Answer. This is a trick question. Without knowing who is lying, it is impossible to determine the deadly ingredient. The answer teaches us that any choice is risky when information is unreliable. The next challenge, riddle number 6, the reflection of truth. The premise, a man stands in front of 3 mirrors. In each mirror, he sees himself with a different emotion, joy, sadness, and confusion. The man himself appears emotionless in front of the mirrors. Which mirror shows his true feeling? Answer, none. A person's true feeling is emotionless, and all mirrors only reflect illusions or variations of what they might feel. The next challenge, riddle number 7, the lost melody. The gist, there is a staff on the wall with the notes C, C, E, E, and G, G. On the blackboard, it is written, the symphony of life begins and ends with C. The goal is to determine which note completes the melody. Answer, the note C. C. This is a logical problem. If it is said that the symphony ends on C, then the answer is this particular note, despite the suggested options. The next challenge, riddle number 8, the weight of choice. The gist, the hero stands in front of 3 shields, the endurance and strength shield left, the authority and chaos shield right, and the central shield with the symbol of the all-seeing eye. The inscription on the board reads, only the truest balanced heart will find the path. Which shield should the hero choose? Answer: the central shield. It represents balance and wisdom, while the other two are extremes, power or authority, that lead us astray. The next challenge, riddle number 9, the three lost codices. The gist: the hero is presented with three ancient books: the Codex of Celestial Alignment, the Central Codex of Enigma, and the Codex of Chronicles and Maps. The inscription reads, "Only a script untouched by time speaks the truth." Which one should he choose? Answer: the central code encrypted. Symbols and ciphers do not change over time, while historical records and maps are often rewritten or become outdated. The next challenge, riddle number 10, summoning the alchemist. The premise: the hero stands in front of three bottles: regeneration elixir, left; an unknown blue elixir with the Ankh symbol, center; and transcendence elixir, right. The inscription reads, "Only the true balance of life and heart opens the way." Which bottle should the hero choose? Answer: the central one with the Ankh symbol. The Ankh is an ancient symbol of life. Regeneration is merely the restoration of flesh, while transcendence is the escape from reality, while the balance of heart and life lies in life itself. The next challenge, riddle number 11, the three codes of time. The premise: the hero is standing in front of three books: the Code of Celestial Alignment, a central code with the inscription "Time is Now," and the Code of Chronicles and Maps. The condition states, "Only a script untouched by time speaks the truth." Which one should he choose? Answer: the central code. The phrase "time is now" refers to the eternity of the present moment, which never changes or ages, unlike records of maps or astronomical cycles. The next challenge, riddle number 12, the cast-off shadow. The gist: the hero stands in front of pillars with inscriptions about shadows. North: the shadow is the longest; south: the shadow is the shortest; east: the shadow has disappeared. The inscription on the scroll reads, "Only the Sun of Truth can guide your heart." Where does the true shadow point? Answer: to the south. At noon, when the sun is at its highest point, the Sun of Truth, the shadows are at their shortest. This symbolizes a moment of maximum clarity and truth, when all that is hidden is minimized. The next challenge, riddle number 13, the three treasures of time. The gist: in front of the hero are three items: a shield of stamina and strength, a book with the inscription "Time is Now," and a bottle of pure life elixir. The condition on the wall says, "Only a script untouched by time speaks the truth." Which one to choose? Answer: the book "Time is Now." This is the only item that represents a script, text, recording, and it does not age because it proclaims the eternity of the present moment. The next challenge, riddle number 14, the Tree of Knowledge. The gist: the hero stands in front of the Tree of Knowledge, on which hang three fruits: the fruit of endurance, left; the fruit of pure life, right; and the central glowing fruit in the form of a clock. The inscription reads, "Only the truth untouched by time is born anew." Which fruit reveals the truth? Answer: the central fruit, clock. The clock symbolizes the cyclical nature of time, something that is constantly born again, a new day, a new hour, as opposed to static endurance or simple biological existence. The next challenge, riddle number 15, the Forbidden Gates. The gist: the hero is faced with three gates. The first key is the key of endurance, in the shape of a fist. The second is the central key of time, in the shape of a clock. And the third is the key of pure life, in the shape of an ankh. The inscription reads, "Only the truth untouched by time is born anew." Which key will open the path? Answer: the central key, the key of time. The truth that is born again is time itself, an infinite cycle that is always renewed, while power and life are only finite states. The next challenge, Riddle number 16. The Treasure of Dust. The gist. The hero is in an ancient cave of archaeologists. In front of him are 3 chests. On the left is the chest of heavy bronze, strength and endurance. On the right is the shimmering chest of pure life. And in the center is a chest decorated with a clock mechanism. The inscription reads, "Only a script untouched by time speaks the truth." Which chest contains the truth? Answer: the central chest with a clockwork mechanism. Chests with physical treasures, bronze or life, are subject to decay and time, while time-counting mechanisms are a script of eternity that does not age as time continues to flow endlessly. The next challenge. Riddle number 17. The astronomical dial location. A high-altitude observatory above the clouds where the sky merges with the stone. Description: the hero stands in front of the code of winds and waves on the left, the code of life and growth on the right, and the central dial of arcane truth. The inscription on the board reads, "Only the balance, untouched by the shadow, reveals the truth." Which item is correct? Answer: the central dial. Unlike the winds, changeability or life, cyclicality, birth and decay, the dial that measures true time is located at the highest point, where light always falls directly and nothing casts a shadow, representing absolute balance. The next challenge. Riddle number 18. The ice chamber location. A frozen cave of eternal ice, where everything is frozen in time. Description: the hero stands in front of the code of celestial ice on the left, the frozen code of life and growth on the right, and the central pedestal with the eye of absolute truth. The inscription on the ice slab reads, "Only the truth untouched by ice reveals the path." What is the key? Answer: the eye of absolute truth, the central object. Ice is a physical substance that binds and freezes history, the code of ice, and life, the code of life. The eye represents a metaphysical vision or consciousness that exists beyond physical limitations and cannot be bound by cold or time. The next challenge. Riddle number 19. The flooded library location. An ancient underground library half submerged in water, with fog hanging in the air and the ruins of forgotten knowledge all around. The objective? The hero stands in front of the code of Gaia and the stars, left, the code of life and the script, right, and the central mirror of absolute truth. The inscription on the scroll reads, "Only the script, untouched by the shadow, reveals the path." Which object is correct? Answer: the mirror of absolute truth. The mirror does not store a script in the form of text that can be forgotten or hidden in the shadows. It reflects the truth right now. In a dark, flooded library where everything is hidden in shadows, only the light and its reflection, the truth, remain untouched by the shadows. The next challenge. Riddle number 20. Jubilee Portal. The Forge of Eternity. Location: the Forge of Eternity, where sparks float in the air and intricate astronomical instruments and ancient scrolls surround the area. The essence? In front of the hero are 3 objects: the code of Gaia and stars on the left, the forgotten code of life and script on the right, and the central mirror of absolute truth. The inscription on the fire-resistant plaque reads, "Only the truth untouched by fire is born anew." What is the key? Answer: the mirror of absolute truth. Fire is a destructive element that burns scrolls, codices, and material forms. The mirror that reflects the absolute truth is immaterial and unaffected by the element. It always remains pure and is born anew in each new reflection, allowing it to survive any flame. Friends, that's all for now. If you've watched the video until this point, you can leave a comment to let me know if you like this content. On the screen, you can see all the riddles for today. If you like the video, you can support me with a like and a subscription. Thank you all for watching, and see you soon.